Hello, everybody. Peter Gantner here. I'm excited to be here this evening to talk about a new opportunity that's taking place because of a shift in the entire business world out there, which is the concept and the idea of what we call the participatory economy, communities commerce, or also labeled as Web3. Now, most of you out there have probably not heard of Web3. I'm going to explain to you why it is important to you and not to me, but also we're going to talk about an opportunity within Web3 that we believe is going to be, and if we're naming it the Amazon of Web3, the Tesla of Web3, the SpaceX, just an absolute phenomenal opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and I'm going to kick off the presentation here. And we are going to start with what is Web3 actually, and why do I say that it is so much better for all of us. So I'm going to give you a quick history of myself. So I've been working on what I call the participatory economy, communities commerce for over 10 years now. And we actually started it by working with inventors. And the concept is that everyday people, no special skills, or if they had special skills, either or, would simply get behind inventors and help them launch companies' projects into the marketplace by helping with a little bit of funding, by simply just buying the products, or with marketing, sharing on their own social media, or maybe helping in some other form or fashion, setting up at shows, events, things like that. And then about 3 years into that, 3 or 4 years into that, we actually discovered the world of cryptocurrency. That's actually what I got involved with at first. And it was simply just to buy crypto and make money. And that is probably what most people hear about in the blockchain Web3 space is this idea that cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any of the other altcoins that are out there. However, crypto is only the monetization piece of Web3. Web3 is a much greater and bigger idea. And so I'll go through some of the core factors, the benefits to you and I. And then afterwards, you can say, yeah, actually, that would be better if we had all these things. So the first is greater control over your personal data. That's pretty big, right? I mean, a lot of us are very upset that and the Amazons, the Googles, and all these people keep monetizing our data. It's been a big part of the complaints that society has over this big idea of Web 2 of technology. Number two is true ownership of digital assets. Imagine being able to truly own digital assets, and that could be NFT art, music, virtual goods, of course, cryptocurrencies, and things like that. The third one, access to decentralized finance. Finance is in for the most part, guys, by the time we're able to enter finance is usually when companies have already are ready to go on the NASDAQ or on any of the stock exchanges and stuff like that. But the wealthy in this country and in this world have always had access to finance that has kind of been off limits to most people out there. Well, decentralized finance opens the door for everybody, no matter how wealthy or where you're at or who it really opens the door for it. And that's why decentralized finance is so important, because of the blockades that have been put in place by the centralized system for us to be able to enter finance. We get to enter when there's a lot less opportunity than when there is the most opportunity, which is normally saved for the 1%. Censorship resistance. I don't know about you, but I would like to be able to live in here in America, because this is a global business. We have free speech, and free speech should be censorship resistant, and blockchain is that. Number 6, lower cost and borderless transactions. I don't know if you've ever tried to do any type of international banking, but it's slow, it's costly, and it's sometimes very difficult depending on where you're sending it to and where you're going. So wires are usually, when you send a wire, I'm paying to send it, you're paying to receive it. Those type of things are very expensive. It would be much better if they were a lot less. And then, of course, more transparent and secure transactions. So that is another one that is in here. And I might have missed one here because I think I missed the most important one, which is right here. Yes. Direct monetization for creators and users. Look, we can look at the fortune that Google has made off of YouTube, or even when the guys who started it exited and sold it to Google for billions of dollars. Yes, creators are rewarded, and there are a small percentage of creators that are making a lot of money. But for the most part, the platforms are making the most money off of those creators, and users usually get completely left out. So in modern capitalism, what we're talking about now, Web 2 and in the traditional marketplace, customers are what there are customers. There might be a rewards program where you can get a few points and maybe get a free sandwich or a free drink. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the founders, early investors, maybe executives that are actually building wealth off of these things. When I came up with the participatory economy 10 years ago, I realized that actually the most important in my success, I had launched toys in the marketplace, a toy called Pogs, and then another one called Crazy Bones. These were huge successes, ended up being in Happy Meals. But at the end of the day, yes, I needed to launch the company. Yes, I needed, the team that worked with me. Yes, I needed funding and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I realized it was the customers, the kids that went out and shared it and played with it and had a great time, that helped blow these things up to end up being tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. This is what I believe with Web3 is the most important, and that is the fact that users can benefit from it. As a matter of fact, I have a chart here that shows you. So I asked Grok to lay out the benefits of Web 2 versus the benefits of Web 3. So in this chart, the red is Web 2. The blue is Web 3. So if you look at it, decentralization, the blue, Web 3 is better. Data ownership, blue is better, right? Web 3. Transparency, blue. They're the same in security. So Web 3 is just as secure as Web 2. It's just you have, and of course, interoperability. Web 3 is better. The only one where Web 2 outshined was in scalability. Okay, that is about to change. And that's the opportunity that we're going to talk about today. There is a company, there is a project that you can get involved with. I'm already involved with it. A lot of the people on here are involved with it. And that is WeFi. And the reason why we're involved with it is WeFi is about to move this scalability one all the way past out here above and beyond Web 2. So now think about it. Better in every single area except for this one. Once it is better there is going to be a movement towards Web 3 that is going to be like a tidal wave. And the cool thing is this is the company right here that is going to make that happen. See, the reason why it hasn't happened yet is that there are unique difficulties in being able to scale Web 3. Well, this company, along with its founders, said, hey, wait a minute. We have all the answers, all the technology, and the team to solve these problems. And so we're going to launch WeFi. We're going to bring it to the people in the form of Web 3, which means what? Users will benefit financially by helping get this launched. Now, the area that they decided to go into, which I really got excited about, was the banking industry. And why was I excited about that? Because if you look at satisfaction of clients in the banking industry, when you're getting ready to launch a company, right, you look at it and go, hey, how satisfied are the customers, the users in that space? How satisfied are they with the current offerings by the companies that are out there? And most of the time you have people that have favorite brands and stuff like that. There are very few people out there that have favorite banks. I am one of the people that do not have a favorite bank. Okay. I use the banks that I use in spite of the fact that I'm not that happy with them, right? Because there aren't a lot of other options. So as soon as there is an option, which there is going to be here very soon around the world with WeFi, I am going and jumping right into it, which is why we got involved with it. But here's the great thing. Bank revenues after risk costs reached a record $5.5 trillion in 2024, helping push the sector's net income. We're talking about income here, guys, to $1.2 trillion, over $1 trillion income. Imagine you as an everyday person through Web3 simply becoming a customer of WeFi and being able to lock in and benefit from over $1.2 trillion in potential revenue from the industry. So it's the highest total ever for any industry out there, meaning it is the most profitable industry in the world. And guess what? I have worked now with entrepreneurs and with products and stuff for well over 10 years. And the one thing that I realized is the product needs to be great. It needs to solve a problem. There needs to be funding in place. But the most important is the team that is behind the project and their track record of success. So we're going to go to reevecollins.com. Reeve Collins is the founder of WeFi, and he's also partnered with 4 other gentlemen, which are all the founders of it. And Reeve Collins has already been a major innovator, guys, in business, but especially in the Web3 space. Matter of fact, he is one of the pioneers in this space. So we're going to go here to his track record. Look, his first job ever was with an online ad agency. Shortly after he went to work there and started helping build it out, they did a $6.6 billion public offering. Extremely successful. You can go down a couple years later. He had another lucrative exit. But the one that's really the most important to us is in 2013. In 2013, he literally revolutionized the world of cryptocurrency and Web3 by creating what is called stablecoins. Now, if you're in the US, it's been all over the news, the fact that they've moved towards standardizing and making stablecoins legal and with regulatory environment around it here in the US. Well, he is one of 3 founders that helped found that. As a matter of fact, Tether is considered the foundation of all of crypto, meaning Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only 2 coins that have more value than Tether does. Tether right now is about $186 billion market cap. It had to jump over regulatory hurdles like no other token out there in history because it was tied to the US dollar. So it's USDT, right? But guess what? Ethereum would not be worth $353 billion today if it wasn't for Tether. Stablecoins had to be invented and created in order for crypto to be as successful as it is today. Matter of fact, if you own any Bitcoin, and it's right now it's over $88,000, went as high as 126 recently. That is because of the innovation of Reeve Collins and what they did with it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen with some sound, and I'm going to let you guys hear directly from Reeve Collins why he created this, what the intention of it is, and why you want to get involved with WeFi. All right, here's Reeve.
The next piece in delivering on the promise of blockchain, which is democratized access to high quality financial services for the world. We're finally ready for that. And so that's my company called WeFi. So that's wefi.co. And it is a neobank. We've coined a new term called neobank, a decentralized on-chain bank. So there's banking in the traditional systems, and then the neobank, which is using the traditional system, but with no physical presence, just online. And the neobank is, instead of using the traditional system, it's online, but it's using the future system, the blockchain. And so what that enables is just better services at cheaper rates, because the blockchain does what the regular system does, but just much, much, much more efficiently and on a global scale. And so we've packaged and simplified the complexities of utilizing blockchain-based wallets and making investments in DeFi and different things like that. We've really created a very simple and friendly user interface and beautiful brand around it called WeFi. So people can then just get higher quality services. So the first product is a card, and then it'll be lending, and then it'll be actually earning high yield on your savings account, above 10%, and then access to DeFi investments all through this user interface.
And has that launched yet?
That's launched.
Okay.
Yeah. And the beauty of WeFi is we're also putting the community first, and WeFi is truly delivering on the promise of Web3, which is ensuring the community is the one that gets rewarded for participation. So there's a token. So we have an ITO, which is an initial technology offering, and people can buy into that, which mines WeFi tokens, which.
So guys, you can see that he talked about that, where by participating, that's why I call it the participatory economy, you can simply end up earning what are called digital assets. These digital assets are tied to the value of the company. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say that you were an early adopter or customer of Amazon, and Amazon said, hey, if you come here and buy a book, every time you buy a book, we're going to give you a digital asset. That digital asset represents the value. Now, when you started buying the book, Amazon was valued at $20 million or $30 million or $50 million. Since that digital asset represented part of the value of the company, now that today, that if you would have held on to that digital asset and Amazon is valued at $2 trillion and you did it at 20, then that means that your asset would be worth 100 times. So let's say you bought a $9 book and they gave you a $1 or $2 asset, digital asset for that. Now that asset, if you held on to be worth $100 or $200 just for simply buying a book. By the way, it was a book that you wanted. You read the book. You got value out of the book. But what happened is by you buying that book, you generate revenue for the company. You became a customer. And in turn, you helped create value and success for that company. And that's essentially what we're doing here for WeFi by becoming a WeFi customer, whether you sign up for free or you decide to get involved in the technology. You're helping create value for the project. In return, that project is sharing. And by the way, in WeFi, 100% of the digital value, the decentralized value is being shared, and also a portion of the company is being shared with it. Now, of course, we know a team is not one person. A team means multiple people. I talked about 4 other founders. We're going to look at a couple of them, and then we'll hear a little bit from each of the 5 founders real quick. So the first one is Maxim. Maxim, a young guy in his 30s, has already been involved in starting companies, exiting, finance, Web3, innovative in technology. He is the CEO. Reeve is the chairman of the company, fully involved. As a matter of fact, you can go to Reeve's X account, you can go to his LinkedIn, and it has right in the title, WeFi, in there. The other one that I'll show you here, and then again, we'll hear from all of them, is Roman Rosoff. So remember, this is a technology company, so you need to have unbelievably incredible technology. As a matter of fact, you want that technology to work really well, and you want it to be really simple to use. One of the projects he worked on was Wise Bank. Since I've started this and started talking about Roman, I've had a half a dozen people now that had already used Wise Bank. And every single one of them said Wise Bank is one of the easiest, if not the easiest bank that they've ever used. And that especially if you're doing international transactions. However, that they're not going to be able to say that pretty soon, because WeFi is going to be the easiest, most, simplest way to do any type of crypto. So a DO bank, crypto to fiat, from fiat to crypto. It's unbelievable technology. We actually have somebody who saw the technology. They're getting ready to roll this out in Europe in the next 30 to 60, 90 days at the most. Once it rolls out there, then we'll be able to show you a demo of how easy and simple it is to use the banking software as well as the exchange software that will be there. So now let's hear from the 5 founders, and they'll give you a little bit more information, and then I'll show you how simple and easy it is to do the ITO part of the mining, and then we'll talk about the referral side of it.
Hello, my name is Reeve Collins. I created Tether, the world's first stablecoin. It's amazing to see how stablecoins have become the foundation of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now I'm building WeFi, a bank reimagined with community at its core. Powered by blockchain, WeFi operates at a fraction of of traditional banking costs, allowing us to share the value directly with our users. Our community doesn't just use the platform, they are the heart of it. They earn the rewards and reap the benefits of their contributions. With world-class financial products and a relentless focus on user empowerment, WeFi isn't just a bank, it's a global movement. Join us in building the future of financial access for the world.
WeFi is the first bank built for crypto. As stablecoins go mainstream, all transactions will eventually move to crypto rails because they are faster, cheaper, and smarter. Traditional banks will try to catch up, but we are already there. WeFi designed for a crypto native today and for the billion who will become crypto users tomorrow. We make banking more rewarding, more efficient, and more fun. WeFi isn't just a better crypto bank, it's a better bank, period.
Hey everyone, I lead product and technology at WeFi. This is a full-stack company built in-house by engineers, developers, and designers. Everything you see, from staking to real-time portfolio tracking, is custom and is modular and self-custodial. You can move money, stake, use, and hold all in one place. We ship fast, but we care about every detail: UX, security, and clarity. My job is to turn complexity into something people actually want to use. Not a theory, a working product. And we are just getting started.
At WeFi, I focus on bringing crypto into real everyday business. More people are using digital assets, but merchants still struggle to accept them. We're solving that. From crypto-enabled POS terminals to ATM networks and merchant tools, we build the infrastructure that makes crypto work on the ground. This isn't tomorrow's use case, it's already happening and we're making it simple.
I served as the global head of private banking for the National Bank for Abu Dhabi and was CEO to 3 banks in Switzerland. I spent over 25 years in global banking. Over time, I saw how traditional systems began to fall behind. Slow, expensive, very complex, and disconnected from the digital world. What drew me to WeFi is that it's not a patch on old finance. It's a purposely built neobank, fast, transparent, and ready for a global user base from day one. From experience, I can say that this is not a passing trend. It's a fundamental shift from closed systems to open ones, from control to collaboration. And WeFi is building that shift with clarity and conviction.
So guys, I love the fact when they talk about from control to collaboration, right? That's what we need more of in this world. So let's jump in here real quick to WeFi. So first of all, guys, you've got to have a team, a dynamite team, in order to build stuff and put it. So you'll see that I already have $51.39 in USDT in my wallet. So, and the person who shared this with you, this is an affiliate program. So that's how they're part of the way they're rewarding the community to be a part of it. They also have a rewards program, which is energy, that's going to reward all users of WeFi into the future. That is the beauty of Web3. But you can see I've already put it in there, and don't worry about it. If you've never done crypto, guys, we will make it simple and easy and efficient for you to get on board and be a part of this. And of course, if you already know crypto, it is simple and easy. So now that I have some funds in my account, I'm going to go ahead and hit the earn button here. You can see that I already have some ITO units. ITO units are initial technology offerings. Essentially, it is what's called cloud mining. It's proof of stake. Don't worry about it if you don't know what the term means. It essentially means that there's software that are mining the WFI tokens. And real quick, let's take a quick look at the WFI token, because it is a token that is freely trading in the market every single day. We can go here and check it out, guys. It's currently right now at $2.89. You can look at the history from the day it launched all the way through now. That is a beautiful chart. If you've never charted or watched cryptocurrencies, this is an unbelievably incredible chart. And the reason why is the tokenomics, the rules in which the token is launched, how it's distributed, who it's distributed to, what they've put out there in the marketplace is absolutely phenomenal with this project. It's the best that I've ever seen. The founders of this and the developers, usually when projects launch in this space, the founders and the developers will get a portion of the token allocation. And it's usually anywhere from 15 to 20 to 30% of the token allocation. And then also usually they'll go use the token to raise money for the project, and that will go to big VCs, and they'll end up with large allocations. With WeFi, none of that exists. 100% of all the tokens are being mined and controlled by the community members that have purchased these ITO units, these initial technology offerings. And of course, this is one of my accounts. It's over 32,000 ITO units in there right now. Right now, units sell for about they do sell for 60 cents. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase some more because I'm super excited about where this is going and how it is developing. You can see these are my current miners that are mining. I have already mined. It'll be 3 months on February 2nd since I joined, and I've already mined over 818.86 of WFI tokens, which current market value is over $2,300 and growing. And by the way, guys, this will mine for another 6.5 years. So at 3 months, it's literally 26 times more mining. So if you took a 26 on top of this 818 right here, right, you can see the value that will be created. And also, I believe, now again, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure you do your own research. But I believe this is at least a $30, $40, $50 token and beyond. And if you understand tokenomics, you can see that this will easily be. Now, there is a max supply of 1 billion tokens. That's the most that will ever be mined. And all of those are being mined through these ITO. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come down and hit buy. This is as simple as it is. A matter of fact, this is a one-time fund your account with USDT, or if you're outside the United States, you can use any of these credit cards in order to purchase it. I'm going to click on the USDT. You're going to see that I do actually have some funds. So I'm going to select this wallet that I have some funds in. I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to go ahead and just hit max here. I'm going to take off the extra 7 cents there. So I'm going to purchase $50.80 worth of ITOs. That is 85 ITO units. However, I am going to receive more than that right now because there is a 30% bonus. So you'll see I'll receive 110 miners. I've chosen to mine them for 5 years. Why? Because I want to get the maximum of what is available for me to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit the continue button. I'm going to go ahead and click this box here and then hit confirm. Bam. I am done now, guys, for the entire 6.5 years. Meaning if I never come back and look at this for 6.5 years, it will continue to mine 24/7, 7 days a week, all the way until it's done. And then I can see how many tokens I've actually mined over those 6.5 years. There is actually no maintenance, no cost outside of the initial purchase of the ITO units for you to do at this point to go from there. Now, not only is that, remember I said the decentralized layer, 100% of that's owned by the community, but there is a core company here. And in that core company, you see a button here called ownership. Every single ITO unit that I purchased, so you saw I purchased 111 additional ITO units. I am receiving a gift certificate for future ownership of 1 share per ITO in the banking entity. So we own part of the bank. We own the full decentralized layer. I'm going to hit verify. Of course, the celebration. I don't need to do anything else here right now until this happens at some point in the future. This is available for quite a little bit of time right now through block 38. Currently, right now, we're on block 21, and there's about 8 million ITO units at the 60 cents. If this fills up all the way, then the price of the ITO units goes to 62.5 cents. And then, of course, the next round is at 65, 67 and a half, and that continues to go up. Right now, we are on block 21. The shares are available through block 38, which is about 17. We do not know how much longer or when the extra 30% will be there. But I mean, imagine if, let's say that $1,000 would mine about 4,000 tokens over the next 6.5 years. An extra 30% would be an extra 1,200 tokens. And of course, if these were $30 or $40 each, 10 times what they are right now, let's just go 10 times what they are right now. Of course, this value would be already $23,000. And of course, in 6.5 years, it could be tremendously more. So instead of 4,000, you would have 5,200 at $23 a piece. You would have, of course, over $100,000 in value. Also, I'll go right here real quick and show you on the shares, guys. They've done some estimates. Just, hey, what if this becomes a mediocre, successful company? The shares could be worth as much as about $33,000. But if it becomes the home run, the Tesla of banking, or the, Amazon of banking, these shares in this account could be worth as much as $22.6 million. On $1,000, I'm sorry, guys, that would be at about $83 a share right now. And of course, you would get about 20-something hundred ITOs. You could have a value potentially of about $160,000 for every $1,000 that you put in ITOs. And of course, the minimum you can do is $50 to get ITOs on that side of it. So 1/20th of that would mean that you would have about, about $8,000 for every $50 that you put in potential share value alone. Plus you would have the WFI tokens that are mining. So these are both. You're getting the gift certificate for the shares, and you're getting the ITO miners that are mining the WFI token. Both of those have the chance. Now, I did say this was an affiliate program. You can do that if you want to. If you purchase $250 in ITO units, you can begin to earn on anybody that you refer to this. If somebody invited you here, they're part of the referral program. That's how we're decided to grow the community, because it is absolutely the best way to do it. And you can see that I invited about a dozen people. Those dozen people right now have turned into 825 total affiliates. What's pretty cool, guys, is that with it, there's a Visa card, and it's already available in a lot of countries outside the United States. But you can see that anytime somebody's using the Visa card, I've already made about $16. Not a fortune yet, but it's just getting going. Most of our people are in places where the card is not available. Also, they just launched this a few days ago, where you can actually purchase the WFI token in-app. So right inside your WeFi app in here, you can purchase the WFI tokens, and you can see that I've already begun to earn from that as well. Not a lot yet, but it's definitely growing and heading in the right direction. Right here, I've made a couple of dollars already in income. So there are a lot of ways to earn. There's the ITO units. There is the card itself, the Visa card. There is the WFI token purchase in here. But also, guys, one of the exciting parts about this is that we will make residual income off of all of the banking fees. So the 825 people that we've recommended to this, that has grown into the community, anytime if one of them, so this is going to be a full service bank. So car loans, credit cards where you can get a credit line against that credit card, business loans, 401ks, DeFi investments. We're also putting an exchange out where there'll be a global exchange where you can exchange cryptocurrency. And of course, there's fees on that. On all the current exchanges, we'll get a percentage of it. Matter of fact, they've committed to, and it's in writing, 50% of every fee will be paid out to the community. Remember when Reeve said the community benefits. The other 50% goes to the company to pay the bills, run things, have a profit. By the way, that gift certificate for the shares, once the shares are issued and the company is profitable, those will be dividend producing shares. So there are a lot of ways. You can simply get involved, buy some ITO units, let them go for the next 6.5 years, and have a huge, huge potential there. You can also get and open up a banking account and start getting rewards, getting energy, get a Visa card, get those benefits from there. You can do the referral program side of things. So this is very lucrative. And a matter of fact, from the referral side right now, I personally have earned over $35,000 in USDT compensation, which I've been able to pull out, pay bills, do different things with it, buy some more ITO units, buy some WeFi tokens. So again, get back with the person who invited you here or shared this video with you. They have an affiliate link. So, like, look, I want to get going. I want to get signed up. I want to be a part of this, and then get involved. We or they, me, the other people that are involved in this, we'll help you. We'll help you get set up. We'll help walk you through. We'll help you get some crypto if you need it. So whatever help you need, we are here to help and build this thing, and take WeFi to the masses. The goal of WeFi is to get to 1 billion customers worldwide. Right now, the largest bank in the world is 120 million customers. We would have a bank that's 8 times greater in size than the largest bank right now by customers. And we believe that will create somewhere in the neighborhood of at least $1 trillion in wealth between the token and the shares. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Please do your due diligence. You can go to reevecollins.com. You can go, look and ask the person who invited you here for some more information that we can get you. And hopefully you decide to get involved and be a part of this movement towards Web3 and helping shift, I guess, level the playing field to the everyday person to be able to benefit and begin to build personal wealth for themselves. So thanks for joining me.